Think you know global cuisine? What if I told you that the secret ingredient behind some of your favorite dishes, from the sweetness of your biryani to the spice of your curry, even the tang that flavors Mediterranean stews, didn't come from Italy, France, or China, but from a forgotten empire along the river deltas of Bengal? Prepare to have your taste buds and your understanding of culinary history completely revolutionized, because hidden in the chronicles of history lies a tale of extraordinary abundance, of kings who ruled not just with armies and gold, but with fields of rice, rivers of honey, and a command of flavor so vast it shaped the cuisines of continents. This is the untold culinary story of the Bengal Sultanate, the empire that fed empires, spiced oceans, and seasoned civilizations. For centuries, the story of global cuisine has been told through the lens of the Silk Road, through the spice merchants of Arabia, or the explorers of Europe. But beneath those well-known paths lay another network, a web of rivers, ports, and trade posts stretching from Chittagong to Satgaon, Sonagaon to Gaur, the lifeblood of the Bengal Sultanate. It was here, between the 14th and 16th centuries, that food became diplomacy and flavor became power. The Bengal Sultanate wasn't merely a kingdom, it was the culinary crossroads of Asia. Sitting between the Indian subcontinent, the Himalayas, and the Bay of Bengal, it became the meeting point of East and West, where traders from Arabia, Persia, Southeast Asia, and China exchanged not just goods, but tastes, seeds, and stories. Today, we remember its monuments and coins, but what truly outlived its marble and gold was its food, its spices, its techniques, and its philosophy of blending the world's flavors into harmony. So let's travel back to the kitchens, gardens, and bustling ports of a forgotten Bengal. Let's uncover the Sultanate's hidden influence on world cuisine. A culinary crossroads unveiled, the golden age of gastronomy. The Bengal Sultanate reached its zenith between the 14th and early 16th centuries. It was a time of prosperity, sophistication, and astonishing culinary experimentation. Historical records describe Gaur, the Sultanate's capital, as a city where the aroma of food mingled with the scent of roses. Its markets overflowed with grains, fruits, spices, and fish, products of one of the most fertile deltas on earth. The sultans, many of Turkic and Afghan origin, brought with them the refined tastes of Central Asia and Persia, the love for meat, aromatic herbs, saffron, and nuts. But Bengal gave them something those arid lands never had: abundance, fertile soil, sweet water, endless rice, tropical fruit, and an imagination that transformed foreign dishes into something uniquely Bengali. Thus began a golden age of gastronomy, where local cooks blended Persian pilafs with Bengali rice, turned Arabian stews into spiced fish curries, and infused desserts with jaggery, coconut, and mango. This was the birthplace of culinary fusion, centuries before the term existed. Spice routes and beyond. While the Sultanate's armies defended its borders, its ships conquered the seas. From the ports of Chittagong and Satgaon, Bengal's merchants sailed to the Malay archipelago, East Africa, and the Arabian Gulf. They didn't just carry textiles, they carried spices, dried fish, tamarind, and jaggery. In return, they brought cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon from the Spice Islands, black pepper from Malabar, and exotic fruits from the Malay world. This trade created a culinary chain reaction. The Sultanate's control of these maritime spice routes meant that ingredients like cardamom, turmeric, and black cumin were refined, traded, and popularized through Bengal's hands. It was in Bengal's kitchens that these spices were married into harmony, that layered spice blends first appeared, balancing heat, aroma, and sweetness. This idea later evolved into the masala philosophy that would dominate South Asian cooking: early fusion. In Bengal's royal kitchens, cultural exchange became art. Persian biryanis met Bengali rice, Turkish kebabs met river fish and mustard oil. Arabian breads turned into parathas and naan, and local jaggery sweetened puddings inspired the desserts of Mughal courts. The Bengal Sultanate became an early experiment in global cuisine, long before colonial empires connected the world. Even the use of lentils and rice together, the base of the humble kachori, was elevated into royal fare, flavored with meat, saffron, and fried onions, a symbol of Bengal's genius for transforming simplicity into sophistication. Let's open the pantry of the Bengal Sultanate. Here you'd find black cumin, kalo jeera, mustard seeds, panch phoron, and fragrant ghee. There's mangoes dried for storage, bananas turned into savory dishes, and fish preserved with salt and turmeric, early examples of sustainable food practices. The Sultanate's cooks perfected slow cooking methods using sealed pots, the dum technique, to preserve moisture and flavor. They combined sweet and savory in daring ways: meat with dried fruits, rice with rosewater and nuts, fish with mustard and tamarind. These techniques later spread westward into Mughal and Deccan cuisines, and eastward into Malay and Thai kitchens, carried by Bengali merchants and cooks. Consider this: the saffron-scented biryani that's now seen as quintessentially Mughal. Its foundation, rice layered with spiced meat and herbs, was first documented in Bengal under Sultanate rule, where rice wasn't a luxury, but a way of life. Or take the use of mustard, a pungent, golden oil that became the defining note of Bengali flavor. When Arab and Persian cooks encountered it, they adopted it for pickles and marinades, techniques that traveled westward across the Indian Ocean. Even the art of balancing sweet and spicy, a hallmark of North African and Mediterranean dishes, can trace its early inspiration to the Bengal Sultanate's flavor philosophy. The influence didn't end when the empire fell. The maritime reach of Bengal's sailors linked the region with Oman, Yemen, and East Africa. To this day, Omani cuisine bears echoes of Bengal's culinary exchange. The use of tamarind, dried limes, jaggery, and sweet-spiced rice dishes that mirror Bengal's own creations. It's a living testament to the Sultanate's seafaring legacy, a flavor bridge that still connects the Arabian Sea to the Bay of Bengal. Few realize how deeply Bengal's trade influenced Mediterranean kitchens. Through centuries of contact via Arab merchants, Bengal's use of spices like turmeric, cumin, and cardamom inspired new seasoning traditions in North Africa and the Levant. The idea of sweet meat pairings, so common in Moroccan tagines and Spanish pastries, reflects the same culinary logic born in the Bengal Sultanate's courts. Even rice pudding, a universal comfort food, traveled westward through Persian and Arab intermediaries, its roots anchored in Bengal's early milk-based desserts, flavored with cardamom and sugarcane. To the east, Bengal's flavors flowed into Myanmar, Thailand, and Malaysia. Traders carried fish sauce equivalents, fermented rice, and spiced lentil preparations across the bay. Thai massaman curry, with its fusion of coconut, spice, and sweetness, echoes Bengal's centuries-old balancing of flavor contrasts. Southeast Asia's love of fried shallots, rice-based sweets, and aromatic stews owes quiet homage to a culinary philosophy forged in the Bengal Sultanate's golden kitchens. Fast forward to today's globalized kitchens, the fusions of Japanese curry, Caribbean pilaf, or African jollof rice, and you'll find patterns first drawn in Bengal's Sultanate era. The modern obsession with fusion cuisine isn't new. It's merely a rediscovery of something Bengal perfected 600 years ago: the art of uniting worlds through food. History often remembers conquests and kings, but rarely kitchens. Yet food tells a deeper story, one of connection, adaptation, and shared humanity. The Bengal Sultanate's culinary legacy reminds us that our global table didn't form overnight. It was built, bite, by empires that believed in exchange, by cooks who dared to blend flavors from across the world, and by farmers who cultivated abundance in the heart of a fertile delta. Today, when you taste the warmth of cardamom in a French dessert, the balance of sweetness and spice in Moroccan lamb, or the fragrance of rice in Middle Eastern feasts, you're tasting whispers of Bengal. This is more than just food history. It's a reminder that the Bengal Sultanate's influence still lives in every kitchen that blends, experiments, and celebrates diversity. So, the next time you sit down to eat, look at your plate and ask, how much of this do I owe to a forgotten empire that once ruled the rivers and flavors of the East? Because behind every grain of rice, every dash of spice, and every shared meal, the Sultanate still speaks. Know more. Be more.